Hola mi gente, greetings, ¿cómo estamos? How are we? It's me, your girl, Che Alexander, La Negra Tiene Sazón, of Sprinkle with Sazón, Apothecary, Botanica, and Community. How are you? Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everybody! We made it! Oh my goodness, happy Spring Equinox 2025, y'all. Today is Thursday, March 20th, 2025, and this is the day that we've been waiting for. I can't speak about the masses. I can't speak about you, but I can talk about me. And baby, all week I've been waking up like Olaf, like Samantha. Is today Thursday? Is it the equinox? Is it today? And today, ironically, I woke up like, what day is it? It didn't feel like Thursday. It wasn't. I can't say it didn't meet my expectations, but I was anticipatory, and the day actually arrived. And I think that is an allegory for spirit and the universe. Like, we can just wish and hope and pray for these things to happen and to actualize and to materialize in our world. And when they do, maybe what was needed was to show yourself how you prepare for that moment, right? How they always say it's the journey, it's not the actual destination. And so I feel like for me, that was a parable for how things have been going. And not to say too much, because I don't know, I didn't see nothing, I didn't hear nothing. I just know that someone was shot on my block this morning, and it literally was the first thing that happened. Like, I opened my eyes and there was commotion, and then there were police in my building. And like I said, I didn't see anything, I don't know anything, but it was ironic to me that spring started from that springboard, right? For me and for my loved ones and my life and my community, my immediate community in my building, my neighbors, because it lets me know that, one, the universe itself is in a fuck around and find out energy, okay? Now, we know that we're not dealing with no soft ass universe to begin with, okay? This universe that we under, it got hands and feet and a mouth, right? It gets a little bit mouthy. But this particular energy, this iteration of the universe that we are in, the astrology that is, that has culminated up until this point, this timeline that we are sharing together, is definitely a different type of beast. It's a different type of universal energy that we have experienced, certainly in our lifetime, right? So when we, all astrologers and the spiritualists and the people that have been talking about the astrology of March, get ready, watch out. This is what we talking about. This is what we mean, okay? So currently, obviously it's a spring equinox. So today marks the first day, official day of Aries season. So yes, the year is over, right? Whatever happened or transpired in the calendar year of 2024 technically ended on the 31st, or the first of this year. But the energetic exchanges, the more so emotional encounters, right? They still were lagging behind because they're on a different timeline, on a different schedule. And now that timeline has come to a close. So I've been reminiscing in my stories. I'm sharing some of the playlists that I've made. I'm sharing some of the astrological perspectives and the readings and, community shares that I do throughout the year, because I'm giving us all an opportunity to reflect. Astrology, though time is not linear, astrology lends itself to the past and the future because it's on a thread, right? And so this, where we sit right now, today, this first day of Aries season, is preparing us to move into the solar eclipse new moon that happens next week in Aries. So we know that last week we had that final Virgo full moon. That was a lunar eclipse. The next solar eclipse is going to be the one that really ushers this new year in, right? Equinox is here, and I was saying, okay, set your intentions for growth. What is it that you're looking forward to? Right? We did all the shedding, all the decluttering, and now what's next, right? What's happening next? So that Aries new moon is going to cast a big spotlight. It's about you. And Aries is all about you. Aries is about, how can I serve me? What is it that I need, right? There's a lot of, and I mentioned this in a previous video that I'll share later. Aries deals a lot with the emotional kind of backlash of the external facing stuff. People are always criticizing them and judging them, calling them selfish and saying, all right, what are you going to do for me? But Aries is a very personal sign. It's like, I got to take care of me. My oxygen mask is most important. And so when Aries season rolls around, especially with a solar eclipse attached to its own new moon, we are being demanded, right? Again, this is not the soft, hey, can I ask you a question? Can I pull you aside? What do you think? Suggestion era. No, this is the fuck around and find out era. So the universe is demanding what is about to happen next, my girl. You see what happened, right? All that stuff that we had to deal with, all that cluttering and the people and the arguments and the stagnation. Okay, so you did a lot of the work. A lot of the work got done. So what happens next? And if you were not able to get to that work, because I can speak for myself, that solar eclipse last April eclipsed the rest of my year. The things that transpired, the people that I had in my life, the situations that unfolded as a result of those relationships really shrunk the rest of my year. And it cast a shadow, right? It was an eclipse. It took away all the light in my life and a lot of the light in the situations around me and my ability to also see the light, right? Because dependent on where you are in the world will change your perspective or your vantage point of what that eclipse looks like. For some people, it's total darkness. For some people, it's something else, right? And how we all are affected by those changes is different. So for me last year, I have Aries in my third house of communication. And so for me, my communication was eclipsed. I felt like I didn't have any of the right words to say. I was stuttering and stammering and stumbling over what I was trying to express. And this year now is marking a close of that, a close to that chapter. I found my voice again. I feel confident and strategic about what needs to be said because I allowed myself to be silenced last year, right? So as always, I'm gonna ask that you check your chart, show me, find out, tell me, where are your Aries placements? How is that affecting you now? Do you feel it? Also, what are your Venus placements? Because some of the other things that are happening in the sky, we have a Venus Cazimi coming to us on the 22nd. So Venus Cazimi is when Venus, the planet Venus and the sun come together and they form what is called a Cazimi or a conjunction. And there is a lot of heartfelt expression that could happen, that could transpire in a Venus Cazimi. However, the caveat this time around is that Venus is retrograde until April 12th, right? And we've been sitting in this retrograde for a few weeks now. And this Venus retrograde has now teamed up with Mercury retrograde. Mercury went retrograde last Friday. So what that means is that during this Cazimi, where it usually is a really good time to express yourself, get some things off your chest, we're also still sitting in between eclipses, right? So we had that last eclipse last week, and then the next solar eclipse is next week. So as we sit in this kind of purgatory state, this limbo of what spirit wants to reveal as truth or as clarity for us, reflection is important. So while Venus is in retrograde, right, themes about beauty and pleasure and value and relationships are coming to a head. And now with joining Mercury in that same retrograde, how we express those things that we were so confident about before the eclipses started, right? When the Venus retrograde first started, we may have said, I have this thing I want to say to that person, da, 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 da. And then all this other stuff started to happen, and now we may not be so sure. Do I really need to say that thing? Now I'm clear about what I feel about that person, but do I have to say it out loud? Do they need to know? Are they in a space to receive me? So if you are feeling kind of confuzzled in that way, that's fine, because there's so much more for you to do. So what do I recommend during this spring equinox? I have so many notes, and look at how I wrote them, all chaotic. Like, there's just so much to say. Definitely what I recommend, as always, is cleaning, right? It's time, if you've been a part of this community for a long time, if you were a part of the newsletters, then you know I'm going to tell you, baby, you need a new broom. You always need a new broom in my book, but you need a new broom, especially when the seasons change. You talking about newness, abundance. You plan on blowing cinnamon into your house next week on the 1st, in 2 weeks on the 1st. but you still got that same nappy ass broom. Not nasty, nappy, because it's collected all types of things. And you out here trying to sweep abundance into your life. Make it make sense for me, please. One time, my girl. One time. You're talking about, I'm getting rid of demons and I'm purging in my house. And your mop is black as my hair, okay? Black as my DNA. I don't understand. So if you have plans for calling in newness, calling in abundance, prosperity, freshness, right, in the spirit of the season of spring, and trying to plant new things so that they can grow in abundance in your life, then you need new tools. The tools that you're using are shambled. No, it's not a good look. So you need to clean, wash your windows, wash your doors. You need new towels, clean, maybe not brand new towels, but I hope that you're not going to take a bath and a shower with the same washcloth and towel that you had last night. Just hygiene, right? Hygiene is one thing, but also spiritual hygiene. We are calling in new energy. Open the windows no matter what's happening outside. If it's snowing outside, crack it open, because we need ventilation. We need the spirit of spring to come into our lives and to imbue itself in our spaces, right? So you don't have to keep the window open or wide open the whole day, but you definitely do need to take a second and allow spirit into your space. Right? And spirit speaks through the wind. Spirit is alive through the wind. The other thing that I definitely recommend is movement at this time, right? So we can get into all the herbs and things that are more beneficial for you. But at this time, the most important thing is some type of activation in the body, because it's going to help your mind and your body align. So you say that you want something new, but then you keep waking up doing the same thing. Your body doesn't respond to that. So this is the time for yoga and stretching, cardio and aerobics, swimming and saunas, okay? Swimming and saunas. And being able to pivot. What else can you do? This is a marker in the year to say, we know what you've done. We've seen what you're capable of. But what else, right? There's more for you out there. You desire something new, just like the plants desire to be seen again. They go from the seed to germination. They hide, they wither, but they come back because they say, I have something new to tell you. I have some new joy to put into your life when you walk past this fence or this garden and you see me. So we need to do the same thing. In that same vein, something that is practical for us to do possibly is to get size for shoes. This could apply to your children or your household. Shoes, bras, sunglasses, so you can see your future, right? Maybe your prescription has changed. Maybe it's time to get a trim. These are all things that can aid in the support of you welcoming spring into your life and being communicative with the universe that I'm ready for something new. Help to make my grass grow. Help to make my the garden of my life grow as well. So I hope that I will see you all on IG Live tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be doing a quick kind of poll for all signs for the equinox, what to look and pay attention to, and then we'll be doing individual card polls. So come and see me tonight here, IG Live. I will be uploading on YouTube what each individual sign can expect for the spring equinox. So you'll meet me over there once those are all uploaded. And then my March offerings, they are limited. There's only a couple of days left in March, but I still wanted to offer something to the people. So I'll be posting in my stories, but for now you can know that herbal consultations are back. I'm introducing now a shorter version of the Spirit Speaks Tarot reading, just for folks who have very specific questions. They don't need a general hour-long reading. They have 3 to 5 questions that they need answered, and we can chat for 30 minutes. So that is a new service that is up and running and available to you all. Tell a friend. And then the natal chart readings are back in effect for what is left of March. Everything else you need to know, you'll find out. You know where to find me. And then I have some really juicy and delicious getaways and outings that I'm planning for you all. So I hope to see you in those spaces. Folks who have been interested, and folks who were interested in the spiritual development consultations, and then people who I have readings with, all the reschedules, everything is coming at you, baby, live and direct. You better be ready for me, because I'm ready for you. I love you so much. Happy Spring Equinox. Happy New Year. I love you. Peace.